Welcome back to part 10 of the Bugatti Bolide in SolidWorks. And then in the last tutorial, we figured out this surface here. And then we're going to leave this backside now. And then we're just going to look at here, which is really good. We have this nice slope that it needs to be in the back. All right, and then we're going to now jump into the front and then complete some of the front section of the vehicle and the lower front splitter. And then we will have some surface there as well to have some references to continue on with the sides and the rest of the vehicle, of course. All right. So let's go and then let's jump into the first display state here, and then we're going to remove these glass appearance. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a plane. So let's click on the front plane here, make a sketch on the front plane, press this one to normal to profile. It jumps into profile, and we want to make a plane that comes in all the way here, and then so we can create these sections here. Let's have a look at that picture there. So that's what we are aiming to accomplish here, this section here. Okay, and then we have these clips here that's holding some of the front splitter up to that one. So let's get to that. So let's grab a center line, and then we're going to bring that center line from here, and then we're going to get it straight here. And you can double click on the point to exit from that one, or you can just press escape on your keyboard to get out of it. And then we're going to exit the sketch, and then click on the plane. So let's click on the line first and on the point, and then we have our plane that we need to work off of. All right, so press OK on that, and then we're going to click on this plane that we just created and make a sketch on that. And that's going to jump into the front here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a convert entities, and we're going to convert this side and then this edge, this back edge here. So these two back edges there, and that will throw it right onto that plane there, just like that. Okay, and because it's not a straight surface that goes in. It goes in a little bit. It has a little bit of draft out. So what we're going to do is we're going to offset these lines, and we're going to offset these lines to about 0.3. Oh no, actually 3 millimeters. Enter. Maybe 2.5 is it better? 2.5, yeah, 2.5 on one side, and then 2.5 on the other side, and press OK. All right, and then we're going to just snip the inner ones, snip these ones, and snip that one, and then we have these inner ones here, which is good. All right, and then press OK on here, and then we're just going to surfaces here, exit the sketch, and we're going to go to boundary surface here, and then we're going to click this one here and this one. Okay, and then we can do a tangents to face on this one here, non-tangents to the face. Go to the face. We can just leave it as is. And that should be fine there. Alright, and that creates that little draft there that we were looking for. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Of course, you need to bring back the sketch. So let's come down here and click on the sketch and make sure it shows. And let's go to boundary and then this line and then this line here. And press OK. Okay, so we have the same surfaces on both sides here, which is good. And then, so that's good. And then we're going to drop that glass back onto this body here, all of the body. And we're going to hide these sketches that we just created. Okay, and then we're going to make another sketch on the front plane. A sketch on the front plane and press normal to profile. And then we're going to grab a line and I'm just gonna bring it from this corner, and then we're going to bring it up in an angle like that. Okay, exit the sketch. And then let's jump over to surfaces and trim out some of these smaller surfaces here, and don't forget this small piece here as well. Of course, we need to bring back that sketch again to cut the other side. So sure. And go back to the other side. Okay, so surfaces, trim surface. So that's going to be our trim tool here. Clear selection. So let's say trim tool. And we're going to remove this two small pieces. This one here and that one there. And press OK. Alright, so that looks good. Okay, so let's jump in here and remove this glass appearance here. So now we have that surface created there. And the second surface we want to create is going to be this surface here. And obviously this surface here is going to be a different surface which will curves up. If we look at this picture here. So let's look at this picture here, right? So we're going to create this surface first, and then this is going to be a curved surface. Well, you can't see it at the moment, but you will see it in a minute. All right, so we're going to need to create a plane that is on that point. So let's use this one here to get into view, or make a plane off of. So make a sketch, normal to profile from the front, and we're going to come all the way up here. Okay, so let's grab a center line, and we're gonna click that center line somewhere here and make that straight. Okay, exit the sketch. All right, so let's go to our plane and then click on the line and then click on the point. All right, so now we have that plane to make a sketch on. So that plane is right over there. I want to make this plane pull out to here so we can see our plane. So it's going to be plane 3. Let's not forget that. That's what we're going to be working on. So plane 3, let's click on plane 3 and we're going to make a sketch on plane 3. Of course, normal to profile. And let's make a sketch on plane 3, and we're going to use this edge here, of course, because this is the other part of the body. Okay, so we're going to come down with this one. So we're gonna come down with this one to about here. And then we're going to do something like that, and we're gonna cut it straight. Okay, all right. So let's we're gonna make a sketch on that one. So let's grab a spline, and then let's make that start our sketch from here. I'm gonna come out to here, exit the sketch, and then we're gonna grab another spline, and we're gonna bring that spline about. Let's bring it out all the way out to here. Exit the sketch, and let's pull this in spline into position. And we can also do something like click on this line, hold Control, and click on this line, and make that tangent. And we just pull that in, and that will create that surface for us what we're looking for. And we can play with this a little bit here, and then pull this up here. Okay, and then we're going to grab another line here, pull this about here, and then we're going to grab a center line, construction line, and pull that construction line to about here, and then we're going to mirror these entities. So mirror this entity, and this small entity, and we're going to mirror it over this construction line here. All right, and then I'm thinking maybe we pull this line a little bit longer like that, about here. Okay, and it's the same thing on that side as well. And then we're going to connect these two lines here. Instead, let's use a spline. Okay, so let's use this spline, and then we're going to just pull this handlebars up. Okay. All right, so that looks good. And then we can still trim off of it, of course. And of course, yeah, I just want to pull this a little bit down like that. And it will do the same thing on this side as well. And they're looking good on all the way. Okay, and now just jump with the surface and do a planar surface, and that will create it into one surface. Okay, so that's done. All right, and now we just need to trim off some from that surface. So let's add our glass appearance on that surface. Okay, and then we're going to make a sketch on a plane that is higher. All right. So let's make a sketch on the top plane here. Normal to profile. And then we're going to grab a line. And then we're going to trim it. So trim it here. And then let's delete that. So we can move that line into about here. Yeah, so about here. Okay, so that's good because this other surface will comes out to about there. Okay, and of course we need a center line, construction line here with just one. Make that nice and straight. Exit the sketch, and then a mirror entity is going to be this entity mirror about here, and the surface tool, trim surface, and let's trim these two surfaces here. All right, so let's remove that glass appearance. Okay, so we have that removed. That's good. And what we have to do, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring up this surface here. Okay, and to do that, we're going to make a sketch on this plane here, and then we're going to do our convert entities. Well, we don't want to convert this whole entity over there, so Control Z on that one. So click on the empty space. So convert entities. We're still in the sketch, so we're going to convert this edges here, and this edges here. And press OK. And we're going to try to pull this out. It's going to create a curve for us, so that's not good. So instead, let's do a Control Z to get back into where we were on that one. And then we're going to jump onto the top. But first we're going to exit the sketch. And then let's jump into the top view here. And we know how far we need to pull these lines out. Okay. So let's get back to the sketch here, add a sketch. And then let's grab this line. And we're going to bring it to about here. Okay, and then I want to add a center line in the middle. And I want to mirror this entity over on that side as well. Okay, so that looks good. Exit the sketch. I want to knit these two surfaces together. And I want to knit these two surfaces together. All right. And the next thing I want to do a boundary surface, and I want to do a selection manager. And then I want to select this side, this edge, and press OK. And again, selection manager, this one, and this one, and press OK. Of course, we need to flip these connectors. And then we're going to pull this into that edge here. A little bit forward, just a little bit, and we leave a little bit of edge there, so it's not going all the way out there. So let's have a look at the surface. So that surface looks good. However, we can get rid of this one here, so let's delete that surface actually. So let's delete the surface. Okay, and then we're going to edit the sketch here. Let's edit the sketch. And then we're going to jump back to the top here. For some reason, I like to work with the front of the car to my left hand. I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed, but Okay, so I want to get rid of this one here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to cut these out as well. And I'm going to grab a line, and then I'm just going to pull the line somewhere here to that edge. Okay, and we still have that center line here that we can use. So mirror entities, and we're going to mirror this entity here, and then let's mirror it over that edge. Okay. So let's go ahead now and create that boundary surface again. So exit the sketch, and then boundary surface, and then don't forget to press the right button on your keyboard and then select selection manager, and then you select this edge here, and of course selection manager again, and select these two lines here, and that looks good already. Okay, so that looks a lot better surface now than before. Okay, and then we can mirror this over actually. So let's do that. Mirror this body over this plane, and let's choose bodies to mirror, and let's mirror that over perfectly. So that will, yeah, that's exactly what we are looking for. All right, so next thing, of course, again, we're going to jump into the glass, and we're going to add the glass to, let's add it to the whole body, why not? Okay, and then let's make a sketch on the front plane. Okay, so we already have this sketch here, which we could use. So convert this sketch here. Okay, and then we're going to offset this sketch here about right about there. Maybe let's just do 2, and then 2 looks a lot better. And then we're going to extend this line if it's let us do that. We're just going to add to it, so add line to that point, and then like that. Exit the sketch. All right, so that's good. Okay, so exit this sketch here, and then there's the surfaces here, and then trim surface, and we're going to trim out this inner part here. Clear selection, trim tool, this sketch, and we're going to remove this side and this side as well. These 2 lines here. Okay, so we have that gap in between those surfaces already. Okay, so that's good. And then now let's remove the glass appearance, and then we have that edge that we were looking for. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, we want to add these clips actually that holds, I don't think it holds that much of a thing, but it's probably just a visual effect, but we will add those clips to hold these 2 edges together. We can also extend the surface if we think it might be a bit too much of a gap. Yeah, but I think we're gonna work with this gap. It's a big amount of gap and not too small. All right, so we're gonna need to create a plane here. Okay, so let's create that plane. So let's go to 3D sketch here, and then 3D sketch, and we're going to convert this edge here. Okay, and from this sketch we're going to add a center line on the middle of that, and we want to be on the X and Z, of course. So press tab, X and Z axis, and we want to be perpendicular X and Z axis. All right. So to be perpendicular, we're gonna have to jump on the top here for a second, and we're going to adjust this line here. Fix, delete that. So now we can adjust it and make it perpendicular. Click on that, hold Control, and then click on the line. And that looks good to us. Okay, so that's more of a perpendicular in that way. Okay, so that looks good. Exit the sketch. Okay, so now we determined that one. Let's add a plane now to that line here. So click on the line first and the point. And we can see already that we are not so perpendicular to that line. So we need to move that line a little bit down that way. So let's click on this line and edit the sketch. And then jump on the top. And we're just gonna move this line a little bit this direction. Okay, exit the sketch. And then now let's add a plane, select the line first and the point, and we are spot on. All right. Okay, so once we have that plane set up over there, we're gonna click on this plane and make a sketch on it. Okay, now motor profile. And then let's add our clips on these sections here. So we're going to use this tool here, straight slot. So we're going to put one. Well, let's see how this lines up. All right, so there's one right up here, and there's one right back here. According to the picture, yeah, one right in the front here, one right in the front here, one right in the front there, and then we're going to add one right over here. Okay, exit the sketch, and I kind of want to be on the same side, same size on these clips. Same thickness as well. Okay, so that looks good for our pins. And then all we have to do now is just go to features and extrude this thing. And then we're going to use midplane. And then in that midplane, we're going to bring that to about 1 millimeter. And that 1 millimeter will be perfect for us. All right, so that's good. And it covers all areas. All right, and then next thing we can do is we can a little bit of fillets on that. So let's do one. Let's try one on these edges here. Maybe one is a bit too much, so 0.5, 0.5. That's still a bit too much, so 0.1 and 0.2. 0.2. Yeah, 0.2 is perfect. Let's try and see if put it on both sides on that. That's good. And let's add the fillet on this one side as well. One on this side, one on this side. Okay. And then next thing we're going to do is go to sketch. We're going to put some screws on that. So make a sketch on this one. So we're going to put one here. And then we're going to put one right here, all the way on the edge. And then I'm going to put one right after the edge. And then one right after this edge. And then we're going to do an extruded cut. So that's going to be 0.2. And that will be perfect for us. Okay, so the only thing we have to do now is just mirror these clips over to the other side. So mirror the clips. For mirror face plane, we're going to use the front plane, and of course bodies to mirror. We're going to use mirror these clips over to this side. Okay, so that sorts that section out beautifully. Okay, and we will add some fillets on these corners as well later on. Okay, let's save the file now. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create this surface here. All right, so basically that surface, if you look at the front, on this one we can see, so that surface here is first we're going to create this surface here, and then we have a curvature down on this section, and then it kind of, it's a bit bigger here, but it gets smaller on this section here. So the plane that we're going to create for that, it's going to be a plane that is not very straight and perpendicular to that surface. So let's do that. So we're going to make a sketch. Well, let's hide some planes here. So plane 3, hide plane 3, hide plane 3. And then we're going to make a sketch on the front plane here. And then let's get to the front here. And our surface that we just created is this one here. So if I press spacebar and then I clicked on that, we can see where our surface is. And we are actually in the sketch. So let's grab onto the center line here. And we're gonna grab that center line just below that surface, about here. Okay, and because we wanna create a surface not very perpendicular, we're going to tilt it a bit this way. All right, so let's exit the sketch. Okay, and then let's add that surface now. Let's add that plane onto that sketch that we just created. So plane, and then it was this construction line here. So, and we're gonna have a look at that plane, how that plays out for us. So let's pull it out to the front here, and we're gonna jump into the front and just double check how we're looking with the plane. of course, we want to see the edge of that plane here. So click on that and spacebar. So our plane is this one here. We can see it already. So let's just move our plane a little bit this way. We need to move a little bit, just a little bit more this way. Let's move it straight. And that's our plane right there. That's our surface right there. Okay, so just we have to make a very tiny angle here, just a very tiny bit, about that much. So let's have a look at the surface here, and we are almost what we are looking for. Just have to move it a little bit, just maybe 1 point, if we could. Just that much. All right, so let's have a look at. Okay, so that's it. That's what we're looking for. It's almost touching the. It's thicker here, and it gets smaller here, and that's what we were looking for. So make sure that your surface, that surface here, is it's thicker here. It's more space between here than in the end here. All right. So I hope that you can manipulate this line to that plane, to that distances between the two edges. Okay, so once we have that plane defined, which is actually, I believe it was plane 5. Yes, it was plane 5. Let's just double check. So plane 5, yeah, so it's plane 5. So make sure that you know which plane was that one. Okay, so we're gonna make a sketch on plane 5, and then normal to profile. All right, and then let's create this surface here. All right, so let's start by grabbing a spline. And then we're not going to go, we're not going to sketch it from the edge. We're just going to come a little bit away from the edge, because we want to have some nice draft on that surface from the beginning of that start. Okay, so let's come all the way out to here, exit the sketch, and of course let's give that a little bit of profile. Not too much, and then we're going to grab another spline here, and then we're going to come up to this point here, and let's add this a little bit of profile as well, and then let's grab another spline, and then we're going to come all the way back here on that one, and let's give this a little bit of a profile as well. Okay, so as you can see, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another spline here, and I'm gonna come with this spline to about here, exit the sketch, and I'm going to follow this edge here. So let's pull it somewhere here, and then another spline, and then we're going to connect this spline to here. Okay, and then yeah, somewhere here, and then just a tiny bit of profile as well. And let's connect these 2 points here. And remember, we're gonna have something that's coming up here as well, of course. And of course, we go to surfaces here and make that into a planar surface. All right, so now we have that surface created there. Moving surface, we're going to jump into boundary surface, and then go from this line to this line. Let's flip this connectors. Okay, and then we're going to pull this line back to about here. We will try to follow that one, that draft angle here. Okay, and then we can add a tangent to face on this side. And then maybe we can add a tangent to face on this one as well. So one goes inside and one goes outside that way. Okay, and we have a look how that looks. So that looks pretty good. And then now let's go to this one here. So let's go to this one here and then this one. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're going to add a tangent to face that comes out this way, and the tangent to face that goes in that direction. And as we can see, that not going to work for us very well. And so for that reason, we're going to delete these things here. Okay, and instead we're just going to add some fillets on them. So let's check for this one and this one, and then let's flip these connectors, and then we're going to pull this line back again, and just make sure that we kind of straight with that one. So press OK, and then let's grab another boundary surface and then add this, connect these two here. All right, so once we have these two determined, let's mirror these surfaces over to the other side. So mirror first, mirror face, and then mirror face is always going to be the not plane 5, clear selection. It's going to be front place, and then of course always bodies to mirror. Bodies to mirror, and it's going to be this one here, this one, and then this surface here. Alright, so next thing left to do is we're going to go to surfaces here and connect some of these surfaces together. So connect this together with this one. And then let's knit together these surfaces with this one. Okay, and once everything is knitted together on these lower front splitter, let's go and try to add some fillets. Okay, so let's add a fillet on this one. Obviously, let's try one on that one. Let's try one. And then we want to add on the lower section as well. So press OK. And that works perfectly. And we're going to do the same thing on this end as well. So let's go to fillets. And I add it to this one here. And then this corner down here. And press OK. Alright. So the front splitter is almost done. Let's save our project. Alright, so the only thing left to do is to add that small piece here. Let's go to our picture here. Which one? Yeah, that's the picture here. So this is the one that we need to do here. this small jump up thing. Okay, so let's have a look at from this side here. Let's see how much time we have left. I still have a little bit to complete that project. And we're gonna come from here to here, obviously. So we need to determine, if we look at the picture from here, we can see that the kind of that's that section there. That's that section there comes in. All right. Okay, so that goes here. So there's a straight line here, and it comes down. So the first thing we need to determine is these 2 points here, and then we're gonna come out with the construction line. Okay, so let's make a sketch on the front plane. And then let's add 2 points. We're going to add 1 point here. And then we're going to add 1 point here. And maybe we're going to put this point in a little bit this way. Okay. All right, and exit this sketch here. And then let's go to 3D sketch and grab a center line. And we want to be on the X and Z, not X and Y. So press Tab on your keyboard, X and Z. That's perfect. And we want to make sure that we are straight out on that one. And let's add our second construction line from that point. And again, X and Z that we are going after. Okay, and if you look at the picture here, we can see it falls a little bit inwards, and then it will create a draft out. So it falls in a little bit, as you can see, and then we can create that fillet kind of thing on this area here, which we will do. So let's do that. So let's jump into the top view here. Let's flip that around, and I want to be in this area here. So space bar, and that will give you this nice view here. All right, so let's add some points, or let's add a exit the sketch here, and let's jump into a brand new 3D sketch, and let's grab a spline. And we're going to add that spline about from here to here, of course, and then exit the sketch. And then also I want to add a glass appearance on this surface here, because I want to see the edge to edge, how far the lower section is. So the lower section is going from this corner all the way from this corner. So we can see that from here already. So it's going all the way from here to here. Okay, but it's going to be falling. It's going to fall somewhere here in these areas. So we can create that draft. Okay. Right. Okay. Exit the sketch here, and let's remove this glass appearance. And let's jump into a 3D sketch, 3D point, and then we're going to start from. I'm going to start from about. I'm going to start from about here. Let's try this point here, and all the way on this edge here. Okay, and then let's add another spline, 3D spline from this point to this point, and then other spline from this point to this point, and then let's connect these two lines down here and then see what we can make out of that one. Of course, we're going to turn that into our planners. Okay, so exit that, and then fill surface, and that created that surface for us. All right. So that looks kind of good. And let's see if we can add the face fillet on this two surfaces here. If not, then we will do something else to create that. Okay, so let's jump over to fillets here and choose face fillet. And let's choose this face first. And then for the second face, we're going to choose this one. And it will create that fillet for us that we were looking for. So I'm quite happy. And it actually deleted some of the surfaces that we have here, which is not cool. All right, so let's do a Control Z to bring that back. Okay, so it did bring that back. So it's fantastic. So for that reason, we're going to do something else in the next tutorial. We're going to cut it back a little bit, and then we're going to go from this edge all the way onto that edge that we're going to cut back. All right, but for now we're gonna leave it like that in this tutorial. And then the one more thing I want to do, I just want to mirror over the surface that we just created, just how it looks, uh, by using the front plane. And then bodies to mirror is going to be this one here, and press OK. All right, fantastic. All right, guys. So thanks very much for being with me in this tutorial again. And then in the next tutorial, we also going to create some other areas as well. So we have more reference points to work with. Probably we're going to get on the side here and then create some of the side surfaces on this design here. And if you're just tuning into my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And of course, follow my tutorials from the beginning, like from part one. And I can assure you, you can learn a lot from these tutorials because I'm doing some complex surfaces here. All right, thanks very much and see you in the next tutorial. Bye.